What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? On this beautiful, hot summer day. Y'all, I tell you what, I have been in deep thought. Oh, I have really been in deep thought. You know what, y'all? Let's go deep for a minute. Out here getting this quick eye break. I want to go deep for a minute. How important is it for you to live in peace? How do you create that reality for yourself? Even though, yes, every day we never know what kind of issues of life will come upon us. And I'm going to tell you, I love the Holy Spirit, my God. He will minister to you and He will teach you, or He has been teaching me how to renew my mind about things, bring certain thoughts under subjection and unto the obedience of Christ. I I just tell the Lord thank you because people call it epiphanies, and you're dealing with your thoughts and your mindset, and we all have our own brain. And what reality have you made possible for yourself? We've been taught by many outside influences. We've been taught by inner influences, whether it's your mother, your father, your grandparents, your family, your village. We've all been taught to be a certain way, to act a certain way. And then when you, behold, get grown, you now start out your life. And you take all of those things that you've been taught and you've learned. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because when the Word of God tells us to work out your own soul salvation, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Once you are in that arena of understanding what that is, and then I thought about part of that salvation is my own life right here on this earth. My spirit and my soul and all of that, they're observing everything that is transpiring in my life. So it also goes back to that serenity prayer. Lord, help me, or give me the ability to change those things that I have control to change. And for those things I cannot change, help me, Lord, to know the difference so I'm not out here doing too much to try to change stuff that I just can't change. In other words, I can't change how hot the sun is. There ain't nothing I can do to change how hot the sun is. However, what I can do is when I go and enter into an atmosphere where the sun is beaming down on me, I can either put on some shades, I can put on perhaps the proper clothing and attire that helps to shield me from the manifestation of what sun can do. I can put on uh, a screen protector, some lotions, and all that kind of stuff to help keep my skin from burning or getting too hot or whatever. But I'm not going to allow myself to get all jacked up, tangled up, upset, frustrated when there's absolutely nothing I can do to change the way that sun, how hot it is on any given day. As you hear the wind blowing, there is nothing I can do to change the direction in which that wind blows. There ain't nothing I can do. But I can control if there's wind blowing and the wind happens to pick up a bunch of dirt and debris and I see it, then I can maybe turn away from it so it doesn't blow in my eyes. Maybe I can stay out of the elements so it doesn't affect me. But in and of itself, there's nothing I can do about it. So as I was just talking with the Lord, and the Lord was ministering to me, when it comes to our lives here on earth about living in peace, those things that you can change, those things that you can make an impact on your life that will bring about the peace that surpasses all understanding. I'm talking about real peace. That's why when I say God bless and may the peace of the Lord be with you. Because sometimes we can create problems. We can say, oh, okay, we're attached to a particular outcome. And if that outcome doesn't deem or go in the direction in which we thought, then we automatically say, oh, I'm having a bad day, or nothing is right. So we have that mentality and mindset, and we say that instead of saying, you know what, it is what it is. It's not that you're being nonchalant about it. It's just that you have made a choice that you're going to live in peace about a thing. And if I can't do anything to change it, and guess what? I'm not going to break my backbone. I'm not going to, stomp my toe and break my shin trying to fix something that I cannot fix. Because we can get caught up in wanting things to be the way society, again, how you grew up. But now that you recognize, okay, this is my life, and I'm going to live according to what I can change. It's funny when people say, you know what, she ain't nothing like her mama. Well, I'm not supposed to be. And I'm not talking about me per se. I'm just saying, you hear people say, well, my mama is my mama. She's built, she's had different life experiences than I had. She's processing stuff differently in her mind, the way God created her. So she is worked out her own life. So just as the Lord tells us to work out your own soul salvation, we also have to remember that in our daily lives. Sometimes your life ain't going to look like mom and daddy and them. And I think as the Lord was ministering to me, I think sometimes we can do harm to people sitting back, holding on to an outcome. We're attached to an outcome of what we think a person should and shouldn't be. Now, I'm not saying that you don't wish the best for your children or your nieces or your nephews and all that. Of course, we're always going to want and pray for the best. Absolutely. Oh, I thought you were going to go to college to be a doctor. Oh, I thought you were going to be a teacher. And they decide to be something else. The gnats are out. See, you got attached to that outcome, and now you're not at peace. And because you're not at peace, now your outward attitude toward that person has shifted, and it's now creating an issue with that person. So now they feel like, oh, well, I'm not doing what my family wanted me to do. Now I'm a disappointment. And so now here it is. You created now a scenario where you're not at peace now because they're not at peace because you didn't do and become the outcome that they wanted you to be. And there's no wrong in what you've chosen to do, because what you're working out your own life. Just like when God ministers to me about a situation, what God ministers to me could be totally different in how he ministers to you through a same problem or a similar situation, because he knows your temperament. He knows you and how you're going to respond to something. So yeah, your mama at your age, or whenever you get to your mother's age, the way you responded or did certain things are going to be totally different. And why do we say that to each other? And we have those disappointments, and we feel people have lost. You know what I'm learning in my life? You either win, and while winning, you're learning. Yeah, we understand that there's somebody gotta win some, somebody gotta lose some. We understand that sense of what the world thinks, and we understand that that's how things are measured. We get and understand all of that. But for me, for my mindset, in going where I need to go so I can continue to live in peace, I'm either gonna win, and until I'm winning, I'm just learning. There's just going to be some things that I'm going to have to learn. Some people you may be with forever, and some people you may not. But look at okay, I was with him for 7 years. Oh, I was with her for 13 years. I was with him for 10 years. I was only with her for 6 months, or with him for 6 months. It didn't work out. Whatever the case may be. But you know what? I learned a lot. I learned a lot. So I have to renew my mind in looking at, you know what? I don't want to look at it as failure. I just learned. I moved and navigated through my life, and I had to make some decisions. You had to make some decisions that said, you know what? This is what I have to do to be at peace. And whatever that peace looks like for you. So I just came on to just say, there are going to be people in your life that are going to tell you this is the way you should be doing this and you should be doing that. And don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that, no, yeah, we all should listen to good godly counsel or good counsel from people because they see you going into a ditch. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you individually. I'm talking about when you're sitting in the pocket with yourself and you say, okay, what do I want to do, live in peace? I can't be focused in on what everybody else does. I can't be focused in on what my family did and all that. What do I need to do so that I can live in peace and be at peace about some things? That's why I love my sister Belinda. Hey, Belinda, all about the banks. You all know about their channel, for those of you who follow me and you're aware of them. Some of you are subscribers. I love, my sister has been through a lot. But I love the fact that, when you are at peace and you make decisions in your life, I would have never thunk in a million years that her and her husband Dwayne would just upsell everything, and now their home is a mansion on wheels, and they're riding around and looking at this awesome, beautiful. That is a part of their peace. They made a decision. And they weighed the cost. They counted up the cost, but ultimately they couldn't focus in on what I was gonna think, what their children may have thought, their business. They made decisions. And that's what that, and I'm just using that as an analogy. There are gonna be some times where people gonna sit back and think, "Well, I wasn't expecting them to do that," because they're working out their own life. In the same way we have to work out our own soul salvation as it relates to the principles and the teachings and the commandments of God. It's the same when you are in the know of. And that's for anybody. You make decisions that bring peace in your life. And yes, it's wonderful to get good godly counsel and help and instruction from others, but ultimately, you find the things that you need to do. Because if you continue to look at, oh my God, there's nothing wrong with looking at other people and see their testimony and be encouraged and all that. Yeah, but ultimately, when you are thinking about the things concerning your life, you have to do the things that bring you peace. Can't be worried about, oh, am I going to make so-and-so happy? Am I going to live your life and live in that abundant peace that God gives you? The world can't give that to you. God gives it to you. So when I say, God bless and may the peace of the Lord be with you, be at peace. If you live in your life specifically to please others and to get validation from them all the time, you're not going to have that abundant life God talks about. Because you're going to be so fixated and so attached to an outcome that sometimes will ultimately leave you frustrated. That'll leave you on angry street. That'll leave you on mad street. You become the outcome of what others desire for your life versus what you desire for your life. And trust when I tell you, sometimes those desires and those outcomes, it may not look like what mama and daddy want you to look, what they wanted it to look like. Now, of course, you don't want to pick something that's going to lead to your demise or to your own destruction. Absolutely not. But when you begin to measure your life based on, you know what, I done went into my prayer closet with God and I had counsel with the Lord. I inquired with the Lord about it. I didn't see you in there when I made that decision. And I mean, I'm being honest, y'all. Ask you, say, self, what do you want to do that's going to bring you peace and happiness? Now, again, all of this stuff that I'm talking about with you, now this is predicated on what you can do. You know, people say all the time, how do you, and I get it now. When people say, how are you able to just get up and do, girl, lost night, how are you able to, you just have to do it. One thing forever true about it, you just have to get up and do it. You can sit up and try to get all this information from 10,000 different people. But until you get up and move, the word is still true. Faith without work is dead. If you can have all the faith in the world, but baby, if you don't work that faith, your outcome is never going to be anything. Because you're sitting back waiting on some kind of magic pill. You just have to do it. You have to become what you see you believe for. Until you do it, the biggest motivation is doing it. Consistency brings you to your expected end. Oh my God, I hope y'all heard me today. Getting up, doing it is the motivation. But that consistency is what takes you to your expected end. And whatever that is. So if you are looking for peace, baby, make decisions that bring about peace. If you're making decisions that keep you in constant chaos and it keeps you in turmoil, baby, you've got to look at the decisions that you're making that are pulling you away from being in peace, in a state of peace. Again, we understand things are going to happen. We can't be focused in, well, so-and-so did this and so-and-so. No, no, no. Find those things that you know you can do that bring about peace. If it ain't peaceful to you that you got to get up at 5, 6 in the morning to do exercise because you know you got to lose 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 pounds, then find a place. On those days when you know you sit on the couch for 2 hours just watching TV and doing all that kind of stuff, switch it up. You just have to get up and do it. You just have to do it. It's almost like, for those of us who know we have to get up and go to work, yeah, we think about it. Yeah, we might say, oh, I don't want to go to work today. But you know, you got bills, you got to eat. The word still said, if a man don't work, or a woman, it says man, of course, but we women are from man. So woman, if you don't work, you don't eat. So guess what? You got to get up and you got to work, honey. And even for mothers and or wives who are home, guess what? If they're not working outside of the house, they're working within the house in some way, shape, form, or capacity. So that word is still true. If you want to eat, that's your motivator. And consistency keeps your lights on. Consistency keeps your bills paid. Consistency, all of that. So the motivation is, okay, in order for me to continue to keep Howell Chateau, you got to get up and work. You got to do what you need to do to make bills, pay your bills, to take care of yourself and your family or whatever. That's you don't have to think about it. You know it's something that has to be done. It's no different than any other thing in your life. And when you're able to do those things, it brings about a peace. But every day you have to beget those things. So anyway, I hope this is encouraging you all to know that you don't have to ask people for permission to prosper. God already paid that prosper price for you and me, us, mankind. Jesus has already paid that invoice. Isn't that awesome? It's stamped, paid in full. So you don't have to have permission for people to prosper. You don't have to have permission for people to go forward. You don't need any more explanation. Yeah, knowledge is power. Absolutely. Knowledge is always ever evolving. Knowledge is always there for us to seek out and find. Absolutely. But when it comes down to you individually, oh my God, you just have to do it. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself and what motivates yourself. On here, I hope I say some things that motivate you, but guess what? Ultimately, when that alarm goes off at 5 a.m., get on up, Tanya. Oh, but this bad figure, get on up, Tanya. So again, just do it. And consistency gets you there. Consistent way of thinking, moving, that benefits you, gets you to your expected end. So anyway, y'all be encouraged and find whatever you need to get you to a place of peace. Oh my God. We think peace is just all about, no problems, no. Because even in the midst of a storm, that you can find peace. Oh my God. So again, ask yourself. You can't ask Johnny, can't ask Melissa. Ask yourself, what are the things I can do? Me, not him, not her, what everybody else in society does. What can I do to get me to a place of living in peace? All right, y'all, I love you. God bless, and may the peace of the Lord